Hollowbrook Hospital stood on the outskirts of a small, sleepy town, its towering structure a shadow against the setting sun. Once a thriving medical facility, it now lay abandoned, its halls echoing with whispers of a dark and mysterious past. The locals referred to it as the Horror Hospital, a name that captured the spine-chilling tales that had circulated for decades. The hospital's history was shrouded in mystery. Decades ago, it had been a beacon of hope for the townspeople, providing top-notch medical care and comfort to those in need. But that all changed one fateful night when a catastrophic fire erupted, engulfing a wing of the hospital and claiming the lives of both patients and staff. The flames were extinguished, but the tragedy left a scar on the building's soul. Years later, tales of eerie occurrences began to surface. Residents claim to hear disembodied footsteps echoing through the empty corridors, faint cries of pain in the dead of night, and flickering lights that seemed to dance to an otherworldly rhythm. Those brave enough to venture near the hospital's grounds at night reported seeing shadows moving behind the boarded-up windows. Sarah, a curious and skeptical journalist, arrived in town to investigate the stories. Armed with her camera and voice recorder, she was determined to uncover the truth behind the hospital's chilling reputation. She spoke to locals, pored over old newspaper articles, and even managed to track down a few survivors of the fire. One elderly woman, Agnes, recounted her terrifying experience. "I was a nurse here when the fire happened," she said, her voice trembling with a mix of fear and sorrow. "I saw them, figures in the smoke, reaching out for help, but when we tried to save them, they vanished into thin air." As Sarah delved deeper, she discovered that the hospital's fire had been more than just an accident. Rumors suggested that a doctor named Dr. Nathaniel Holloway had been conducting gruesome experiments on patients in the years leading up to the fire. Some believed that the tortured souls of his victims still lingered, trapped between this world and the next. Undeterred by the unsettling stories, Sarah decided to spend a night inside the hospital to experience the phenomenon for herself. Armed with her recording equipment and a healthy dose of skepticism, she entered the building as the moon hung high in the sky. The air was heavy with a sense of anticipation, and every creak of the floorboards seemed to whisper secrets. Hours passed, and Sarah's skepticism began to waver. Flickering lights cast eerie shadows on the walls, and strange noises echoed through the hallways. Her heart raced as she followed the sound of faint whispers to a locked door. With a trembling hand, she pushed it open, revealing a room frozen in time. Dust-covered medical equipment lay strewn about, and old patient files littered the floor. Sarah's camera captured a sudden chill that seemed to envelop her, and her voice recorder crackled to life with a faint, echoing voice. She strained to make out the words, "Help us." The hair on the back of her neck stood on end as the whispers grew louder. A cacophony of voices begging to be heard. In a rush of adrenaline, Sarah fled the room and raced down the corridor, her breath ragged. She burst through the doors and into the moonlit night, gasping for air as the weight of the hospital's history pressed upon her. She had felt the presence of something otherworldly, something that defied explanation. The following morning, Sarah returned to town, her mind reeling from the night's events. She compiled her findings into a chilling article, recounting the tales of the hospital's haunted past and her own spine-tingling encounter. As the story spread, the town's residents shared their own experiences and stories of the horror hospital, solidifying its reputation as a place of darkness and despair. Hollowbrook Hospital, once a place of healing, had become a beacon for those seeking a brush with the supernatural. Despite its tragic history, the abandoned building continued to draw visitors and thrill-seekers from all corners. The enigmatic whispers, the flickering lights, and the chilling presence of the past were now a part of the town's lore, forever intertwining the present with the haunting echoes of the past.